Hi, how are you? Have you made a melted snowman yet? Because I think you're gonna like this one. Let's hang out for a little while and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I have the cutest cutout. I think you're gonna love this one so much. I'm excited to show you all. But first, let me show you this. Well, I'll show you whenever you get on here. I got my glasses today. I'm so excited about it. Hi, Joni. Hey, Sandra. Welcome. How are you? Keyword is snowman. All right, so this is the transfer we're going to use. It's called Merry and Bright Christmas, okay? It's got several things on it. It says Merry and Bright, have yourself a merry little Christmas. Oh, what fun. And also, fa la 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 la. Hi, Tina. Hey, Stephanie. Hi, Melissa. Welcome, ladies. How are you? Okay, so I already went ahead and painted all my stuff because this one has quite a few pieces and I did not want to be sitting here painting this while you guys watch because that's boring. Let's be honest. Okay, so I do have my little snow nose here. I am going to take a Posca pen and just add to the lines. So there's some scored lines on it. So I went ahead and I just painted it with orange and then just added some lines with the Posca pen, okay? And then I've got this. So I did a horrible job of painting this. So whenever you paint and engrave like this, you're gonna want to use a makeup sponge like this, okay? And use as little paint as possible. Thanks, Melissa. I appreciate you sharing for me. Y'all wanna see my new glasses real quick? Look. They're so cute. They're reading glasses only, okay? But they're super cute. Look at them. And I can actually read text now on the computer screen and on my phone. So that's nice. I didn't realize what I couldn't see. Okay, so anyways, back to the engrave. Okay, so that's the engrave. I painted it. I did use a makeup sponge, but I did a horrible job painting it. So I'm going to try and fix that with a Posca pen, and this is working. I highly recommend that you don't try to paint this with a paintbrush. I am not talented enough to paint it with a paintbrush. Maybe you are, I don't know, but I think it will look messy, but that seemed to work pretty darn good. Okay, so that helped. Kind of bright. It's hard to see. But now you can actually read what it says. And it's not just covered with paint. Okay. So I painted all of these pieces. That's the snow that goes at the bottom of this bucket. So we're making a snow bucket. Okay. Full of snowballs. And I have a few other little things that I want to do here. So I have my little ink pads out. There's still a little bit of one dot of wet paint on here that of course I touched. They're cute, right? Hi Megan, how are you? Welcome. Thanks for joining me. So I love these ink pads, okay? So this is the white one. And I just want to take it and go around my bucket with it, okay? Now, I'm gonna kind of do it, well, I guess I didn't need to do it around the bottom, but whatever, it's fine. Mainly, the top is what I'm really more concerned with. I want it to, now some of this top part's gonna be covered up. You'll see what I'm talking about here in just a minute, but I love that, okay? Just adding a little bit of something. And then we have the little snowman hat. Again, I just painted it with black chalk paint. And I really want to add more on this one. There. Now this is where a smaller ink pad would probably come in handy. But that's okay. we're gonna figure this one out together. Now, I did it kind of messy on the edges, which is fine. There are some other pieces that are gonna go with this. There. Okay, so I kind of was able to kind of smooth that out a little bit more. Okay, and then I painted my words that we're gonna use for the transfer, just plain black, because then we'll use a silver on the wording. So this is that pumice stone distress oxide, and here's my idea with this, is that for all of my snow, I didn't want it to be just pure white. Okay, so kind of taking those and just adding a little bit of gray on there, or it's kind of a silverish gray. Now, I don't want it to be lines, so I need to be careful. Hi, Brownie. How are you? Hey, Shirley. Welcome. I know I miss you too, Megan. All right. So I have all these snowballs. I'm just going to add a little bit of the distress oxide. I say a little bit. I'm actually using quite a lot. But I purposely only did one layer white paint on these because I knew I was going to come back and do something with them. So they do have the smaller ink pads, okay? I do have now ink all over my hands, so I need to clean myself up a little bit before I missed one. Before I continue on with this project, I need to clean my hand up. Okay, there we go. All right. Hi, Becky. How are ya? Welcome. Okay. So, yeah, I was really excited to go pick up my glasses today, and I actually used them for the first time today also. And I've noticed, so I have some little cheapo readers that are just like the first level of readers that you can get at CVS that I got a while back that I've been using all week, y'all. And those are killing me. They give me such a headache because I don't think that they're exactly the right thing that I should be using, but they do help, so I've been using them. This is also his little scarf. I figure we can add a little bit of the white on this one too. I forgot about it a second ago. Yeah, so I'm so excited to actually have a good pair of glasses that I can wear. I think it'll change a lot for me during the day and help me not feel like trash at the end of the day. And seriously, almost every day this week, I've been struggling. Okay, so I'm going to just try and smooth this out on here. There. So it's not so stark. I don't know if that helped or not, but we'll see. Every single night, especially like last night, y'all, I worked until 8:30 on stuff. I had so much junk to do to get ready. We've got a bunch of big meetings with our leadership next week at work. And so I had to be ready for all that. Okay, so let's begin first by cleaning up my hands. Okay, so these are the words, oh, what fun, okay? Oh, and what, and then fun. They have a really cute font. And this is our transfer. I'm not even going to wax or anything because I don't think that much of this transfer is going to be touching the surface. But I am going to fuzz it a little bit, okay? Just to keep it from... Hi, Brooke. How are ya? Welcome. Keep it from pulling up my paint, okay? Now... I didn't even need my light. You see that? Perfect. Okay, so push it down really, really well. And we're gonna use shimmer silver tonight. You could actually maybe even use shimmer silver on the snowballs instead of like that dioxide stuff, the ink. Just use like a little paintbrush or something to spot some on there, and that would probably work good. Now this paste does not paint super well because some of the shimmers do and some of them don't, and in my experience the silver does not. Now if you buy a new jar, it may be a slightly different formula, but there's the word O, and that looks pretty good. Okay, and then we're gonna go on to what, and these do line up perfectly, okay? So you just have to get the right angle on there. Make sure that you paint the correct side first of all, and then you should be good to go. And you can tell, obviously with words, it's easy to tell which side is the correct side, but let me show you a cutout so that I can show you what I mean by the correct side. So I have a blank one right here from the back side of this. So this is the little stand, okay? So that's the front side. And then you can kind of see on the back side, there's like some little burn marks on the edges, okay? That's from the metal tray that it sits on whenever my laser is cutting. So if you look at a cutout and you see that burned up side, that is not the side that you want to paint, okay? You want to make sure that you paint the other side that's clean and doesn't have a bunch of burn marks on it. Especially with cutouts that line up with transfers. And of course, you might want to just check it against the transfer before you start to make sure that it lines up, because I have actually painted the wrong side before, especially with like the chalkable shapes. It's real easy to do because both sides are the same. So just make sure that you know which side is which before you start, and a simple lineup will save you a lot of hassle and trouble, okay? Now, some of the transfers, for like some of the shapes, I guess they could be either side will work, right? But most of them, there's a specific side that works because it's slightly different. I think a lot of our transfers are actually hand-drawn designs, which is incredible if you can even imagine that. I don't even know how they would do that. But they digitally hand-draw them, right? So they may not be completely perfect on both sides. Like, you know, perfectly, because they're not drawn by a computer. Okay, so there's the word fun, and that's the transfer that we're going to use. That one is, you can comment the word snowman to get that in the package. Hi Lacey, with these cutouts, okay? So you can either order the cutouts, you can order the transfer by itself, or you can order all. And this whole project will actually is able to be done just by itself. You don't have to have the transfer to do it, but I added it because I thought it was cute. Now in your package, you'll also get some of these, okay? Little rectangles with some little R's on them, okay? So those are spacers. I'll show you how to use those. And if you look, let me see if I can show you one last thing. You'll be able to tell the front of the bucket because there's some score lines on it. Now I know it's hard to see because I painted it black, but I'll show you that a little bit better here in just a few. And then the one that is the backer piece does not have any score lines. Hey Wanda, how are you? Welcome. So just a quick tip on putting this thing together. I'm going to glue this spacer right here to the back piece of my bucket, okay? And that should fit on there perfectly. Now you have like a little hidey hole, okay? And then we can put the front piece on. Now I did want to add a little bit of embellishment along these lines here. I'm just gonna glue it, uh-oh, crap. I am just gonna put glue on the edges because the Middle part's not gonna stick to anything, obviously, so don't waste your glue. Plus, we want there to be a little place in the middle, that little cavity, so that things can slide in there. Can y'all see that? There's like a little slot there, okay? So that's gonna give you the ability to have this stuff coming out of the bucket, okay? So here's our bucket now, all right? And I would like to try something now. I haven't tested this, so, which is basically the story on many of the things that I do on my channel. So just hang out with me and let's see if we can make this work. So this is a paint pen. I didn't want it to be really a good line, but I might actually go back over it with some black paint and almost like dry brush it on there with black paint. Now I'm just drawing up the lines, the score lines, okay? So these are straight lines all the way across that are scored into the wood. I'm not just drawing lines myself. I wish I could. No, that one wasn't even straight, but I wish I could draw a straight line, but I cannot. So that's what we get. So I didn't want it to be that bright. So I'm gonna just take a little bit of paint on my brush and dab a lot of it off. I'm just using this baby wipe right here and kind of go over that and kind of dirty that up a little bit just so that it's not so... I was hoping I could smear that paint pen a little bit more, but it dries pretty quick, so I was unable to to smudge it. But I think this will give me the effect that I was looking to get. And you could use white or silver paint instead of a pen. I just like a pen because I can control it a lot better. Hey Gwen, how are you, love? Welcome. All right, so just kind of adding literally just a dry brush of paint. And as you can see, it's just kind of taking that brand new silver down a couple notches. Now this, you're not going to be able to see this whole thing on the bucket. We're going to cover it up quite a lot. But I want to not make it look like it's brand new. Okay, so there's that. And I'll shove that in there. And then, all right, here we go. So, hi, Alma. Hi, Beth. How are you? I was trying to say hi and how at the same time, Beth. So, hello. How are you both? I hope you're doing good. All right. So, now we can start to put all of this together. Okay. So, this is a deconstructed snowman, and he can be however you want. Just remember that it's supposed to stand up like this. Now, there are some stands in here for him, for this thing. So, it doesn't have to be perfect, okay? Oh, duh, okay. I need to begin at the beginning. So there's some snow that fits here. Now, again, it's supposed to stand up at the end. So just make sure that you don't come over this edge whenever you start gluing stuff down, okay? That's important because you don't want to have your thing where it's not going to sit flat, okay? And I'm going to actually come up just a little bit above that bottom part just to keep from being too close to the edge. And you won't be able to tell. Okay. Oops. I'm a little close to the edge there. All right. Now. Okay, that's pretty good. So that's a couple of snow drifts. And I really like that little bit of detail I added with the distress ink. I use the silver, or it's pumice stone distress oxide for on the white. I just painted one layer of white, And then I used Distress Oxide and Pumice Stone to give it a little bit of a effect there. Now, I did forget to grab some ribbon, and this is not festive, but I think that will work anyway. So I have, and I just literally just had this in my desk. But some red and white ribbon would be nice on his hat. Just to, you know, but I don't have any right here, so. Yes, it is. So, if you actually comment the keyword, Alma, you'll see the link to get the October. That is my October craft box. And it comes, with every single thing that you need. And it's on my Etsy right now, so you can go on there and buy it. Yeah, and that thing's really cute. It comes with that stand and everything. So the stand's reusable too, which is nice. So I'm gonna, I need to go and look and get some other cutouts that go with that and post those on my website, on my Etsy, so that if you want to make it interchangeable, you can. Okay, so there's just a little something on his hat. Now again, I don't have any floral over here because I didn't even think about it before I started. But you could add a little bit of Christmas floral in there, and that would be real cute too on his hat. So I want that to go in here. Now, I don't know exactly how I want all this stuff to go, so I'm just going to kind of lay it out first. And then we can move it around and then glue, okay, like always. Now, his little arms are going to be coming up out of the... Y'all, this thing is so cute. I love it. It is adorable. I just can't get enough of this thing. So the snowballs kind of sit wherever, okay? And this is where these little, those are spacers, okay? That's where those are going to come in. Oh, we can do this little snowflake on his hat for sure. Let's go ahead and put that there since I didn't bring any floral. So we are going to use the spacers, but I want to get everything situated so that I can see what all we need spacers for, okay? So you can actually, maybe the smaller ones. So like some of the snowballs can even be in there, okay? And so let's see if we can. Like that. And then like that. Okay, so, oh, you know what? Darn it. Well, I guess we can, okay. I forgot entirely about the words that we're using. And then you have your little tag, and I pulled out just a little bit of jute for this one. My Etsy site is called PV Home Decor and More, but if you comment the keyword snowman, you'll get the link to my Etsy in that message. But you can go search for it. It's PV Home Decor and More on Etsy. You know, I tied this before I really thought about it. Let's see if we can. So I'm going to just tie a single, well, maybe I'll do a double knot just to make it a little more bulky. Okay. But yeah, whenever you comment snowman, you'll get the link to my Etsy. You can go in there and shop anytime. I have all my cutouts there. And a bunch of stuff. If you don't see something that you were thinking that you wanted, just let me know and I can make it for you and post it. Okay, so that is my basic layout so far, okay? And then I want to figure out where I'm going to put my words, and I think that I can just have them on the snowballs like that, okay? So that's what I'm going to do at the end, but I want to get all this other stuff going first. So I think that's pretty good. Let me begin with the hat first. Now, I kind of want to, now that I've constructed this, I kind of need to deconstruct it so that I can see what the heck I'm doing here. So I'm going to flip it up just so that I can see in this hole right here as I go in to set this in place. Now, I'm going to do a little bit of glue on both sides, and hopefully I'm not going to regret that choice. But I'm going to just slide that down in there with that glue there. And then let's see if I can... I probably don't even need to worry about that, actually, because I can put a snowball over it to cover it. Thank God for extra snowballs. Okay, so now I want to do the same thing here, and actually I'm going to put it on the back just to make it look nicer, right? So that goes right there, and then that'll just glue right in. And then his little arms are going to be poking out, and I want one a little bit higher than the other. So let me just see how that... This is so fun. I love this thing. As soon as I saw this cutout, the file for this, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to do that. And I think I even bought it last year. I didn't even buy it recently and didn't use it because I didn't have really anything that could go with it that I thought would really work well. Or I ran out of time, I don't know which, but here we are. And I'm glad I'm doing this one now. So I'm gonna just put that one a little bit lower down. Oops. And get that extra glue off of there. So here's what we have so far. Okay. Looks pretty good. So far, so good. Now, we can start worrying about our little snowball situation up here. And I need odd numbers because this looks better with odd usually. Now, this is where these little spacers are going to come in handy, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put some glue on the corner of this bad boy and put that down right there. And then if I want another one, like say to sit here, then I'm going to want to put a spacer underneath it here so that I don't have a problem. So what I want to do is I'm going to take my little R block, and there's several of them in here. You don't have to use them all. You can save some of them if you like to use for another project or whatever you want to use it for. They're handy little spacer blocks though. That way you can glue both pieces down and not have a wobbly piece, okay? And then I think I want to actually, plus it'll make it a little bit, give you a little bit of depth there. I'm going to use one more on this one. Just make sure I glued that on first, okay? And then I'm going to add glue here and on the other side, on that side, okay? And then I can just place that like that, okay? And then I have some other pieces here too, like his little scarf. And some more little snowballs and such. And his nose. Okay, and I wanted to fill in the space here with snowballs so that I can put the words on the snowballs. So I think that's pretty good. So let's do this one here. And then we'll put, so just pile up, like having them like falling out of the bucket, however you want to do it is fine. Totally up to you. Or, you know, if you find that this is too many snowballs, that's cool too. Save them for another project, whatever you want, okay? That's the great thing about stuff like this is you can have complete artistic freedom to do however you like. Okay, so, and then I think my words will go just like that. And I can put his nose on down here. And I want to use, I think I'm probably going to use 2 of these spacers actually for this little sign. So I want to have the sign just a little bit kind of propped up to give it a little bit of a 3D-ish type, more 3D effect. So I'm going to put 2 of those little spacers on the back of the sign. And I'm just going to put the glue on that part and stick that right here to my bucket. I did add that little bit of jute there. And then we can put this, oof, burn myself a little bit there. Oops, darn it. Okay. And then last thing will be our words. So I'm just going to use, now I should have probably used a different kind of glue for this, but that's okay. Just a little bit of hot glue is perfectly fine. And then all of that. Now that's really, really cute. Look how cute it is. Okay, so now I'll show you how to use these little stands too. They're pretty neat. So I ended up using all but 2 of these little spacers. Okay, so these 2 pieces you'll get in your package are stands. Okay, there's 2 stands with, so there's 4 pieces total that you'll get. And let me just show you. So I'm going to flip this over. Now I'm going to put something underneath it just so that it kind of protects it and doesn't get scratched on my desk. Now what you want to do is you want to take this piece first, okay, and set it down on your surface on like the edges, okay? You don't want to go any lower than the base though, so make sure that you're not too far down because you don't want it to make it tilt forward, okay? Now this is already pretty thick because it's like 4 or 5 layers of wood all glued together, but it's probably not going to stand up on its own because it's not even, maybe just a little over 1/2 inch, and that's probably not going to be thick enough to make it stand up on its own. So you do need a stand for this, or you have to lean it. So then this piece, I'm going to take it and I'm going to put circle side up and just squeeze that in there, okay, just like that. And I'm going to let that dry completely before I move on, okay? Now, I always glue these in, okay? But it makes it a little more difficult to move this thing around, like store it. So whenever you go to store it, you might even try like storing it standing up, possibly like this in a box, but make sure that you wrap it really nicely, okay, so that it doesn't get messed up. But if you wrap with a little bit of paper and maybe some bubble wrap, this thing will be just fine in storage, okay? I do not seal any of my stuff that I make, and I have, as you can see, a ton of different cutouts, and I don't seal anything, so there's no need for that. Look how cute this turned out. So again, you can comment the word snowman. You can get the link to my Etsy by doing that, or you can get the link to get this and the transfer that I used on sale tonight. Okay. I love you all so much, and I mean that when I say it. So I hope that you're following along, that you've liked and shared this post. And that you've gone and commented the keyword, got notifications whenever I go live, so that you know when I'm doing my lives, okay? And look how cute it is. All right, y'all. Have a great Saturday night, and a wonderful Sunday tomorrow. I will see you on Monday. See ya.